A very pleasant good morning to one and all, members of the media, all attendees. At this point in time, let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this press conference and invite the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mayaro to address you.
Very pleasant good morning to each and every one of you who've accepted our invitation to join me at this press briefing this morning. Let me start by thanking all of my brave and courageous UNC family who have joined me today. As we stand firm and united in our convictions. I am indeed humbled to be asked by all of you to stand on your behalf and deliver this most critical and important message. Over the past 9 years, we have all witnessed the erosion of our country's independent institutions by this PNM government. There have been attacks on the media, the Police Service Commission, the Central Bank, the Elections and Boundaries Commission, and even the Office of the President has come under the attack, this government. The PNM has undermined the pillars of democracy and the rule of law. Most recently, the PNM attempted to defer a constitutionally due local government election. Were it not for the legal intervention of our great party, we may have been still awaiting a date for the local government election. Ladies and gentlemen, sadly, it pains me to say that it appears that even within our own beloved party, serious issues of institutional integrity have arisen. With me here today are supporters and activists of our great party, United National Congress. They have journeyed to join me here today from all corners of Trinidad and Tobago, from Chaguanas, from Couva, from Saparia, Naparima, Princestown, St. Augustine, Sandy Grande, Kumoto Manzanilla, and obviously from my home constituency of Mayaro. We are all united in a common cause. That is, we are demanding today that the leadership of our party respect the voice of our members. And that voice is echoed through our constitutionally due internal elections. We, all of us in the UNC, have always believed that elections must be called when elections are due. So the UNC's internal elections must be called when they are due in June of 2024. Today, we are all making a public demand because we have a grave concern that there is an attempt from the executive to devalue the UNC's internal election by suggesting that it is not necessary or not even needed, despite the fact that no general elections has been called. A bogus narrative is being pushed by our leadership that says we cannot have our internal elections because there is a general election soon. Ladies and gentlemen, to me, that is not acceptable. I wish to say that I believe that all this talk of a general election by the leadership is simply a ruse intended to suppress the voice of the membership. I want to remind the leadership of our party that the most important persons in the UNC is not the political leader, it is not members of parliament, neither are their senators. The most important persons in the UNC are the everyday ordinary members, like you and me. It is the thousands of teachers, taxi drivers, truck drivers, young professionals, and some of the old professionals. It is the thousands of people who vote for the UNC and who have all placed us here to serve them. We must not forget that we are here to serve them, not the other way around. I want to make it abundantly clear that if these internal elections are not held, it will mean that the leadership of our party will continue to fail the thousands of members by denying them their right to have their voices heard. If these UNC internal elections are not held, it will mean the leadership of our party will continue to be unprepared, rudderless, and weak. If these UNC internal elections are not held, it will mean the UNC will be destined to lose a third successive general election. If these UNC internal elections are not held, it will mean that there will be no hope in our nation in removing this corrupt and incompetent PNM regime. As members of the United National Congress, we cannot demand accountability from the government while turning a blind eye to the erosion of our own party's constitution and democratic principles. We can't hold the government to account. It is also imperative, ladies and gentlemen, that we hold ourselves to the same standards of accountability and transparency that we expect from others. If the UNC is to lead this nation in rebuilding and strengthening democracy, we must first ensure that our own house is in order. Upholding the integrity of our party and its institution is critical for building trust and credibility with the electorate. Today, I want to make a clarion call to all of my colleagues in our beloved party to take a stand for what is right and for what is decent. I am asking all of you today, all of my colleagues, to join me in demanding that the voices of our membership, which is the lifeblood of our party, be heard. Before I came here today, early on this week, I got a very interesting call from one of my colleagues. And he said to me, he said, "Paray, you have a long and bright future in the politics. You're a good man, you're a decent man. But what you are doing is committing political suicide." So my response to him was that that may very well be the case. And perhaps after today, I may very well be an outcast as well. But here was the option presented to me. I must stay silent. That's the option. I must stay silent. And silence is a cancer that grows. It's a cancer. I also told him, if my one voice is me committing political suicide, then the silence of every one of you is committing political genocide. Because we are putting at risk the future of thousands, hundreds of thousands of members and supporters who have found a home in the United National Congress. And we will not allow that. Rabindranath Tagore, Indian poet, he pointed out in one of his very popular verses that a society becomes great when men plant trees whose shade they know they will never sit under. And this is what we are all doing here today. We are planting the seeds to allow our party, the United National Congress, and our country, Trinidad and Tobago, to grow and become even greater. Any attempt by the sitting executive to use their power to deny members an opportunity to participate in an internal election will be seen as autocratic and extremely anti-UNC. We must respect the members of our party. We must be confident in our party's resilience. We must know that we can do the right thing in the pursuit of victory in 2025. We must work to build the strength and capacity of the UNC, because a stronger UNC is a stronger Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining me and lending your support. I have made a few issues abundantly clear on what we are expecting our party to do in keeping the rule of our Constitution where this election is concerned. I will be happy to answer any questions from the media, and the gentleman on the head table here, Mr. Henry Awong, and my good friend, Mr. Victor Roberts, will be happy to answer any questions you will have as well. So I'm open for any questions that the media may have. Morning.
Mr. Paray, do you think by doing this you're causing a bigger split in UNC and given the elections in Canada?
I don't know where that narrative comes from. I don't think anybody is asking for us to do better, is causing any split or being divisive. Because I do feel that we are a resilient party, we are a strong party, and we can self-correct. So that's a narrative that's outside here that I don't agree with. Absolutely. I have been in conversations with the political leader for the last couple of weeks. I've also written her on several occasions on matters that I do feel we need to address in the party before going into a general election in 2025.
And what was her response?
Oh, I am still waiting on a response.
Some of your colleagues say that your ambitions far exceed your ability, meaning that when you have been an MP for less than 10 years, you have been a cabinet minister, you're going to be MP for you became an MP for years. What is your take on that?
So you've asked three questions there. So let me take the last one first. So this narrative of I being a PNM was rubbish. It was political foolishness in 2015. I was screened twice by the United National Congress executive. They agreed that it was political foolishness as well. And that is not an issue today. I am a loyal member of the United National Congress. I am a hard worker. The issue around ambition and talent, all I will say is that ambition is the fuel, talent is the track record. Anybody want to go? Anybody wants to measure talent? Go my arrow and find out my track record.
Have you spoken to some of the UNC MPs and any of them in support of you?
I have been in conversation with all of my colleagues. I can tell you, my colleagues are always ready and prepared to listen. I have made a clarion call today for all of them to join me in calling for the opportunity to have an elections that will allow the party, the members, to have a say and allow the party to refresh itself going into a general election in 2025.
But is any one of them saying that they are supporting you?
They're all supporting me, every one of them. I'm not sure who wants to say it now, but I'm sure over time they will say it. Well, I can't get into their minds, but I know today is Parliament. Today is a very important day. Today is Private Members' Day, and my colleagues are focused on doing the business of the people in Parliament this morning. So I am sure over the next couple of days, those of them who would heed my call today, I think they will eventually come forward over the next couple of days.
There are also some members that are saying it's a bit premature to call the local election. Right up down to the end of March, it's in June. Do you agree with that statement? And also, you would have had, I believe with some people understanding, a good relationship with the opposition leader. So what has now caused you to be so confident to, as you admitted, commit political suicide? What was that moment that there was a
Well, I don't think it's committing political suicide. It's offering a new way and a new path. So let me answer the question you asked first about the issue around, being premature. So I don't know when or how a constitutionally due election in June is premature, but we can talk about an election, a general election that is nowhere close. But that is the topic of the day. So the issue here to me is if it is premature to talk about an election that is constitutionally due in our party, that we know, and we know when it is due, the Constitution is very clear in terms of the timing. But a general election is in the back pocket of the Prime Minister. So to me, it is not premature.
At one point in time, was there some sort of break in the relationship, or was it clash between you and the opposition?
There is no clash. I don't know if anybody has reported a clash.
When you're standing here today calling for an election, and you mentioned that if there is not the internal election that may affect the outcome of the general election
Yes.
in the party, right? So isn't that you're saying you are not confident in your opposition leader, remaining the opposition leader
Oh, I have not said that. What I have said is that the party has to renew itself. It has to be a better version of itself. And what is a better version? A party where the organs are working, all of them are working, where we do have a team that has the capability and the capacity to lead, a team where you have the party foundations that will mimic government at the end of the day. So this isn't about personalities. This is nowhere about personalities, whether it's the opposition leader or any other personality in the party. It is about taking a constitutionally due election, which the party founders found it reasonable to allow a reset timing for all positions. And all I'm saying here today is that there are fundamental problems in the party that all of us are aware of. And the only constitutional way to fix that or to offer repair is via the election. And we must not be denied. Because before being a member of parliament, I'm a member of the party. And I want my right to vote, just like everyone who is sitting here today.
So, two final questions. I want you to tell us, what does a refresh of the party look like in your opinion? So yes, how does it
Well,
look in your opinion?
a refresh is if you call an election, members of the party who feel they have a contribution to make to national development, they will step forward. And when we give the party that opportunity, then the best team goes forward. And we have to give the party that opportunity because we work for the membership, you know. We work for the membership. And we ought to give them the opportunity to make that decision. Now, if they say that the current team is the best team going forward, so be it. But we must give the membership an opportunity to make that decision.
Are you confident or not confident that Kamla Pasal-Bissessar could be the next Prime Minister of this country in 2025?
Well, that is not for me to decide. The membership, which
I'm asking
gives
your
direction,
opinion.
the membership which gives direction, they will decide whether anybody remains or goes, becomes the best or not. They will make that decision. That's not my decision.
Yes. We want to know, as MP, I'm asking you standing here, what is your opinion of Kamla Pasal-Bissessar's ability to bring victory?
Well, all I would tell you is that I have an excellent relationship with my political leader. I would like the best versions of everyone to take us to government and remove the PNM in 2025.
We believe you could be the PNC.
I am very well capable and competent to occupy any post that is offered to me based on my ability and talent. If the membership feels that my ability and talent could put me in any position, then I will accept. But I'll tell you this as well. I have a contribution to make. I have a contribution to make to the development and strengthening of our party, and I have a contribution to make to the development of Trinidad and Tobago. And I am not going to be sidelined or put myself out of that opportunity. Anybody else? All right, well, if there are no other questions, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We do appreciate you coming here this morning. And any other questions, feel free to field them to me. Most of you have my email and contact information. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day, everyone.